Hey everybody, it's the first Monday after the 2017 Oscars and the first Monday of the week of the NFL Combine and the first Monday of the rest of our collective lives. Welcome to my live stream. That's right, Zennie62 Monday, February 27th. We're talking NFL, Oakland Raiders news. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm a little bit early. It's now 11 o'clock, and I will officially get started with some news I want to share with you. Welcome aboard, everybody. While I warm up the engines and get this bat thing going. I always wanted to say, get this bat thing going. Hi, everybody. And I hope your weekend was a good one. Mine was outstanding. And the stream status is good. The health is good. Hey, Dan Dog, how you doing? Raiders. That's right. We're going to talk Raiders and the NFL. I have some news to share. I'm going to the watch page. And I'm not going to go to the watch page. I'm going to thumbs up the watch page. And I'm going to say, hello, all. Jose, my day is going well. You know, it was a bit of a challenge. We had a kind of a home issue disaster with I don't know if you've ever had a situation where you have a leak in the basement. You got to fix the leak and you have to call the plumber and all that stuff. So today was a domestic day for me. That started earlier than I would like, but hey, that's life in the modern age, right? Well, yeah. At any rate, you asked, I told you. Now, questions. Zennie, you got a Raiders shirt? Yes, I do. If you, Pete, I'm going to put up the link for you to buy that shirt right now. It's a beautiful shirt. 10% of the proceeds go to Code of Support. And Code of Support is my favorite charity ran by my friend Christy Kaufman. We go back to UC Berkeley. And she's the executive director. Code of Support is a program that is designed specifically for those who serve our country and their families. It's focused on veterans who are homeless, whose families need some type of either financial or psychological or spiritual support. And I really admire what Christy's done over the years. She's a go-getter. She used to be my trainer, and she's the kind of person who just didn't take any crap from anybody. But she's just cool. She is just cool. At any rate, what I'm getting right now is I'm getting the Zennie62 t-shirt. On the front of it, it says, Zennie62 vlog, news, commentary daily since 2006. It's been that long. And on the back, it has another Zennie62 logo, and it says Code of Support. Okay? So, again, it's tax deductible. And here, now I'm going to put the link right here. Bigler's t-shirt right there, and voila, there you go. Okay, now I'll get to your questions. First of all, Pete, there's the link, I believe. Wait a minute, it's a little shorter. It's not, excuse me for a second. Wow, that link is a bit longer than I thought. Hold on a second. I gotta shorten up that link. Bear with me for a second, okay, before I get to your questions. I've got to put the link in something called Tiny URL. Okay, Tiny URL shortens a long link, and I'm going to use that because this link is it's long, and I can't put it in there because the field has a 200 character length, and this link is 243 characters. Well, 238 characters. Okay, so now here is the new link for it. Okay, It has a length of 26 characters. So I'm going over here, getting there, and doing that, and boom. There's the link right there. Now, I can get to your questions, and I will. I apologize for that delay. Now, okay. 34 seats for a stadium. Funny. I think the stadium miners can pay for the stadium quite well without our help. I happen to believe that nonprofits that are really doing the work of helping those in need are more valuable in this instance. In this specific instance, okay, of the discussion of a shirt. Anyway, now, okay, I do have some interesting news, Raymond, and but I'll get to your questions first before I share the news with you. Make sure. Next season, do you think Connor Crick might do something for the Raiders? That's from Ethan Shooker. That depends on how well the Connor Cook and Derek Carr, excuse me, I always do that. Yeah. Duh. Derek Carr adjust to the new system of play that the Raiders offense will employ. More of a vertical game. You have to remember that the previous system that was installed by Bill Musgrave really took advantage and was tailored to Derek Carr's unique talents over time. The question is, will this new offense, absent Musgrave, do that? And because we don't know the answer to that question, we know the terminology is going to be the same, but we don't know how well these quarterbacks individually will take to this new approach. Okay, and it is a new approach. What we can say is that it will be more difficult to stop the Raiders because once you have that book on an organization and what they do offensively, and then they change, it means that going into the next season, you have no idea what they're going to do. And so therefore, it makes it that much harder to defend them, especially if their talent, as is true for the Oakland Raiders, is very good. So how well will Connor Cook do in this new system? It depends on how well he adjusts to the scheme. That's the big unknown, the big X factor, okay? Now, hey, Joel, and then, okay, now, let's see here. And then, Zennie, have you ever had a rough day? I'm holding you the highest, the standard of the last, I think, okay. Okay, now. Thinking we get Campbell now as D from Arizona. Possible. Do you think Derek Carr will be better than last year? Yeah, I think he'll be more comfortable. I think this is his third year. Last year he was increasingly more comfortable as the year went on. He really settled in. Then, of course, we know what happened. But this year, the third year, I believe that, again, it depends on how he takes to the offense. But he should be settled into the league in general in terms of what this player on offense, on defense does, what that player defensively does, and so on, to be able to take what he learns from this new scheme, apply it to the game plan, and execute it properly, because he is the featured quarterback. No question about it. It would take a disastrous performance, not just through preseason, but the first 5 games, for there to be a change at quarterback, or, as we saw, injury. So, again, here's my concern about Derek Carr and this desire to throw deep is, do we have a line that will protect him well enough so that he will not get injured, he being Derek Carr, so that he will not be hurried a lot? I'm really concerned when I hear someone say, we want to throw deep better, okay? That, we want to throw deep more often. Because in the modern age of the fast defensive pass rushers who are 300 pounds and over, but can yet run a 5.40 or 4.8 and can jump a mile, and then you think about linebackers like Jamie Collins previously of the Patriots and now of the Cleveland Browns, athletes like that make me question the idea of a quarterback going back deep in the pocket and basically having the defensive line people draw a bead on him especially if you don't have a series of plays where you're varying your launch point, drop back, roll out, sprint out, play action, and so on. Okay, so there's your caveat about Derek Carr. The system makes it an unknown. It does. Okay, now, over here sleeping with the Emmy in Colorado. Hey, Richard, how you doing? Then why does your guy Jason Cole have against the Raiders? In my opinion, he does that to get you talking. That's a standard trick today. He knows that. Also, he doesn't have the kind of access to Oakland politicians that I do. And so because of that, and he's complained about it, this is another way of getting the news out there. So that's, sadly, the game. He's under pressure to produce content for Bleacher Report, and so he's got to give you something to talk about, and that's what he does. That's a trick, okay? When the Las Vegas, this is from Willie Razzo. Hey, Willie, how you doing? And Donald Richardson, he had a question. I'm seeing Fabian Moreau from UCLA on a lot of mock drafts going to the Raiders. My thoughts are he could be effective. I am not as high on him as others are, but I'm in favor of the Raiders really kind of trading up to get an impact player. I really believe the Raiders are still one defensive impact player away from making it to the big dance. And reason I know I've said that the Raiders' problems are scheme, it is, but they also need that one other player other than Khalil Mack that is homegrown and scares the heck out of the offense. And I really like the defensive tackle out of Florida State, Dwayne Walker. I know some people don't, but I think that guy, if he decides that he's going to destroy your offense, game over. How many times we've seen with 4 sacks, right? This guy's a monster. Now, I know some people aren't high on him for reasons that have to do with maybe off-the-field personality or how he responds to certain agents, but I look at only how the person plays on the field. That's all I need to know. That guy's a monster, and I'd love to see him with the Raiders. So anyway, now, and so you know nothing about football. You said Derek Carr was taking Carr's job. Yeah, I did say that. And I still think RG3 is a great quarterback. And in the right system, he's proven he has. So I think I know quite a bit about football. But I'm not in control of what somebody else does with a quarterback. As far as Derek Carr was appointed the person to lead the Raiders. He was given every chance to do so. And I'm not taking anything away from Derek Carr. He is a great talent. But look, so is Christian Ponder. But Christian has not been in the right system for his unique mental makeup. That's just a fact. Everybody has a system that's right for him. Derek was fortunate enough to find both a system and a team that was right for him. He was drafted second pick. There was a lot of pressure on the Raiders from the NFL to establish a triplets system. What I mean by triplets, I mean quarterback, running back, wide receiver. Okay, like, for example, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, that sort of thing, right? That's a marketing approach. So just because I say something isn't going to happen doesn't mean I'm wrong. It just means it didn't happen. Sorry. Now, are we going to see the stadium for the Raiders in Oakland? Yes. And here is the news, all right? Now, the news I have for you. And so, hey, Stryker, if you came to be a rabble rouser, I'm just going to block you, okay? In fact, I'll do that right now because I don't have the patience for it, okay? So, look. Bye, Stryker. See you later. Have a good one. So, because my whole point is if you want to go get your jollies off of doing that, go elsewhere or whatever it is that you get your jollies off. You're not going to do it here. We're going to have intelligent talk. So I've indulged you, and that's it. Goodbye. Now, and please don't come back. Now, Lott Group is still in the mix. Ronnie Lott had said, hey, look, you know what? Ronnie Lott announced this. I can tell you that Stephen Ross has been talking with them. Stephen Ross is none other than the owner of the Miami Dolphins. Now, I reported here in this space some months ago that Stephen Ross owned the property and owns the property right across the BART train tracks from the Coliseum. It used to be called Coliseum Gardens. Now it has a new name, and it's part of his giant real estate organization. So that's right. Yes, right. Stephen Ross has real estate in Oakland. That's correct. That's correct. And Ronnie Lott finally acknowledged that they had been talking to Mr. Ross. He finally brought out into public in the open what had been known behind the scenes for some time, and he was also talking with Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf. Now, that's not the biggest news I have. The biggest news I have is that last week, the City of Oakland and the County of Alameda submitted their updated stadium plan to the NFL. They were originally going to do so in just before the Super Bowl, around that time, but I have been told that there was a kind of a disconnect or dysfunction. Egos got in the way. That's the way it's presented. That's what I'm told. I don't really trust that point of view, but that's what I was told. I got nothing better to go on, except I will say this about that in a second. There's a tendency sometimes in Oakland, when it gets close, our city, to achieving something, factions develop and people tend to get in each other's way. Oakland has a tendency to be afraid of success. We psychologically succeed civic success to San Francisco. We think San Francisco should be the place where things are built. And we don't, more often than not, act like the leader. I can give you scores of examples from when I worked on the Super Bowl. From Jerry Brown, when he was Oakland mayor, telling a group of business people from China, hey, why are you here? All the hotels are for the Super Bowl are across the bay. That's where you should be. And here I am working on the Super Bowl. So I was thinking, and this round up in the newspaper, and I'm thinking, well, thanks, Jerry. What'd you do that for? Okay? I can go on and on and on with examples. But let's hope that the news that I received was just a perturbation and maybe a miscommunication, a misreporting, and not the truth. But the bottom line is, all that aside, the good news is the plan is with the league. The updated plan is with the league. Now, get your questions. Richard says, Oakland is home. Also have family organization of photographer for the Raiders, Tony Gonzalez, our cousin. Yeah, Tony Gonzalez, go Bears. So Hector, that's what's going on right now. Did you hear that, Hector? Now, will there be a vote on the Vegas move by the NFL? I am told that the Raiders will ask for a vote in late March in Phoenix at the NFL owners meeting, which is also the NFL annual meeting. Yes. It's all Jack Del Rio's fault. The Raiders have failed to, win a Super Bowl for these past 2 seasons. Miguel, Jack Del Rio, and first of all, Miguel, I say one thing. Thank you very much for putting an opposition opinion in a respectful way, okay? Because that's the kind of dialogue I like to have here, as opposed to flaming. No, block. No, blocking. No. Hector, here's why. He is entitled to his opinion. He is not flaming anybody here, okay? He didn't come here to be obnoxious. Miguel is stating, an opinion. But Miguel, I want to ask you why you think that. One day it'll be fun to kind of put some people here on Skype and get their view, right? Let them say it out loud with a camera in their face if they want. But my point is that, Miguel, I disagree, because Jack Del Rio has really done a fantastic job of giving the Raiders a good platform upon which to win. Now, I don't know intellectually why you make the statement you did or who you think would be better. I'd love to hear you say that. But I can't see any reason. In fact, you have to remember, as you say this, Mark Davis has announced he's torn up Jack Del Rio's contract and he's giving him an extension. So the Jack Del Rio pairing with Reggie McKenzie as GM, who picked him, has worked really well. And you have to give a hats off and a salute to Reggie McKenzie for the outstanding job he's done as general manager for the Oakland Raiders. Now, you think Ken Norton Jr. should be fired and replaced with who? All right. Should the Raiders look into signing Adrian? No, I don't think so. Victoria, I gave the update on the Oakland Stadium situation is that the city has submitted its updated plan, including term sheet, in the city and the county to the NFL as of last week, approximately 5 days ago. What has greater potential than Marks? Postponed vote or a vote of yay or nay? Patrick, a vote or yay or nay? There's no logical reason to wait on Las Vegas if they're not going to do it anyway. What's the point in giving the Raiders more time to get their ducks in a row if the basic proposal just isn't going to work? Not just financing, but just the simple economics of a team in Las Vegas. I pointed out on video that the Las Vegas Hockey Organization had problems selling its season tickets. Now, I put that out there in the hopes that someone will chime in and start yelling, "No, you're wrong, Zennie, no, you're wrong." Check it out. It was the deposits that were accepted. But once the piper came calling for the rest of the money, the purchases fell short. Okay, and that's just for hockey, which is $30 on average less than what it cost to for an NFL team. Okay, now in my professional opinion, is the lot group going to get this done? Tommy asks. Yes. Miguel. Now this is Miguel on Jack Del Rio. Miguel says Jack Del Rio is weak. Miguel claims that Del Rio doesn't have what it takes. But Miguel, you say this is just a variation of what you said before. Miguel, explain why intellectually you believe that. Okay? Think it through. What is it that you offer to say that? I mean, it can't be one loss record because the Raiders did very well last year. So what is it? Please offer, okay? And okay, you said Miguel, John Gruden okay, fine. Duden offer Bill Romanowski as head coach? Oh, Miguel. Okay, Miguel, all right. Again, intellectually, you haven't explained why you believe this. Why do you believe this, Miguel? Now it's just you're just started saying things. It's cool, but it gets people riled up and everything. But the whole point is, why do you believe that? All right. Is the NFL trying to squeeze out Mark Davis? I think we'll get a better idea of what the NFL is trying to do with Mr. Davis after the NFL owners meeting in March. There are people who believe that they are trying to squeeze him out. There are others who think that they simply don't want him to own the Raiders. I am not going to make a negative comment against Mark Davis. However, I will explain something else that's out there right now that other people are probably hoping I talk about, and I'm going to in a moment. And I think some of you know what that is. You do. Now, Christopher says Del Rio does have us going in the right direction. Whether he can take us to the promised land is another question. Del Rio's specialty is defense, and our defense has looked horrid. And Octavia says Gruden was more scheme sound. Was. But see, my question is whether or not John has been able to adjust to the modern game. Now, I think he can, but it's a question. He's been away for a bit. I know he's watched as an announcer, but that's different, and his style is different than the players of today. So I wonder about that, okay? I wonder. Jack and Reggie are doing a hell of a job, says Richard Lucero. Go Raiders, Super Bowl bound. I agree. And Angus Vax says to Miguel, Miguel, explain why. We're all waiting to know, Miguel. Okay. And everyone's on Ken Norton. And I think the problem is that you have to remember the defensive coordinator asks for the defense that the head coach wants to run. And so Jack Del Rio and Ken Norton Jr. have this quasi-USC style of defense in common, all right, that favors two-gapping. I am not a fan of two-gapping. I'm a favor of single-gapping. Now, there are some like Bill Belichick who've done very well with a two-gap system, and they believe that it frees up the safeties for pass coverage. I, however, believe it's very important to control each and every individual gap and then pursue through them. That's just me. I'm a school the Tom Landry style of defense. That's me. All right. Now, Miguel says he's garbage for the because he's been an NFL coach for the past 14 years and now has never been able to take or lead the NFL team to a Super Bowl championship. Let me explain something to you, Miguel, and here's why I disagree with you. If people held your point of view, then Tom Landry would have never been allowed to guide the Dallas Cowboys to the winning years they had. Tom Landry, when he was hired by Clint Murchison, didn't have a winning season for the first 9 years of his tenure. And 5 years in, Dallas Cowboys fans were calling for Clint Murchison, the owner of the Cowboys, then to fire Tom Landry. Instead, Mr. Murchison announced that the Cowboys signed Landry to a 10-year contract. And the rest is history. They took a bet on him. They had faith in an earthling as opposed to God that he would get it done, okay? Now, yeah, every coach needs a second chance. And thank you for the coherent sentence, Miguel. Again, Miguel is stating his opposition in a friendly way. He's stating his opinion, okay? My thoughts on Murray hitting the free agency market. I think Murray needs to catch. That's the thing. And also, he needs to be a bit more adept at reading the blocks that open up to either side of him and making that switch and move. I think that'll make him more effective. But if he can catch out of the backfield, it's all over. I think that's really it. But if I were a running back in today's NFL, I would not overplay my value hand, because running backs are quite literally a dime a dozen today, and you're just one scheme away from obsolescence as a running back. I'm talking about a specific type of running back executing play in a specific way, and you have so many talented running backs coming into the league. Look, we've got, among others, Christian McCaffrey coming into the league, Leonard Fournette coming into the league. We're going to see them at the Combine this week. What would you do if Christian McCaffrey fell to the Raiders? In fact, here's a question for the flock. Should the Raiders draft Christian McCaffrey if he's there? I say yes. What say you? What say you? What say you? Okay, now, Corey Brown says, I know what happened, but I'd love to see does Janikowski retire as a Raider? I hope so. And Miguel says Del Rio was from the Denver Broncos and no one from the Broncos. How did he put it? Murray needs to hurdle more. I agree. Murray needs to put his head down. Murray reminds me of O.J. Simpson. Rick 477, he says he's all right with Del Rio. Different era there. And okay, yeah. Now, nobody knows Bill Belichick was the Browns coach before the Patriots. That's true. Now, I'm not picking on Miguel. Miguel has the right to his opinion. He does, okay? Del Rio led the Jags to the division round. Yep. Travis Tiss says, stop it. Brian Lloyd, he's not fast enough. He's just talking about Murray. No, bro, defensive tackle, MOB, like you said, running backs are a dime a dozen. Yeah, they are a dime a dozen, but Christian McCaffrey to me is special. Now, my buddy Rick Saratella of NFL Draft Bible thinks that Christian McCaffrey is going to be an also-ran running back in the NFL. You know what? Get Christian McCaffrey in a circle pattern out of the backfield, trips on the left side formation-wise, put your tight end out wide, split wide on the right. Put your tight end split out wide on the right. Give him an up pattern. McCaffrey here on the backfield, a circle pattern. Trips right over here. Have the inside slot guy run a flat pattern. Fly pattern with the outside guy, the middle guy, running a seam like this. McCaffrey, off to the races. Off to the races. Rumors around the NFL media that the Raiders are going to cut Murray out, but they also heard of letting him test the market. And I think he should be allowed to test the market. I don't think he's going to get that much in the market. I just don't. And it's because the Raiders really need to upgrade. Travis Taste says the Raiders need to upgrade the right tackle spot. I agree. There have been dirty little secrets with the O-line. Now, here's the thing. I'll tell you who I like that will also fall to the Raiders that I would take over Christian McCaffrey, and that's Cam Robertson, the left tackle for the Alabama Crimson Tide. That guy can block Myles Jarrett. In fact, he ragdolled Myles Jarrett, the defensive end from Texas A&M that some people have number 1 on the draft boards. Head scratch. What? I'm sorry. Cam Robertson ragdolled that guy. You hear what I'm saying? He ragdolled him like, Urgh. It wasn't funny. It was not funny. I thought, this is Myles Jarrett? Come on. No way. Okay, yeah. Now, Richard says yes to McCaffrey. Small running backs in Pac-12 always underperform in the NFL. You know, for small running backs, well, okay, Reggie, yeah, you know, there's something there. But Christian McCaffrey isn't that small, okay? Hey, Zennie, do you see the Raiders picking up a defensive tackle in the first round? I can see a scenario where they would, yes. No need to name names, but any comments on behind-the-scenes dealings of any Oakland entities to garner additional no votes? Can you explain that, Patrick E? Or do you mean yes votes for Raiders being in Oakland? I don't understand that there, okay? Miguel, do you think the Raiders should get rid of DJ Hayden? No, I don't. I think the Raiders should get a better pass rush or should form a better pass rush. The Raiders need to concentrate on speed. They need to focus on speed just as the Atlanta Falcons did in developing their defense. Speed was a priority for the Falcons, and they did a great job in bringing in and coaching speed this past season. Now, I feel like Christian Mack, this is son well, I feel like Christian Mack is going to have a career similar to Toby Gerhardt. I think he's going to be better. Hayden was no first-round material, that's for sure. Yeah. Who cares about the Las Vegas Raiders? Some people do, I don't. I care about the Oakland Raiders. I care about the Raiders, but whatever. Should the Raiders sign Calais Campbell? Yeah, you know, depends on the price, okay? I mean, how much would you give up for him? Rather than build through the draft, okay? That's my question to you. How much would you give up? I always said our defense needs more speed. Yes, speed kills. Our defense needs to be fast to the ball. Our defense needs to be fast off the ball. In fact, I'll tell you something about how to tell a great defense. And this goes back to the 2000 Baltimore Ravens and a preseason game they played against the New York Jets. The Ravens came off the ball so fast, I was watching the game, it scared me. I'd never seen a team come off the ball that quickly in my life, before or since. That was the year they were playing the 46 and Ray Lewis was middle linebacker. They went on to win the Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay Bucks. They went on to post one of the best defenses in NFL history. Speed. It's not just speed to the perimeter. It's speed off the ball. How fast do you react to the ball when it is snapped? That's important right there. Now, you said, I thought you read that Fortress was a new investor, Japanese billionaire. Yeah, that is. That's true. Billionaire organization. Actually, they are more of a trillionaire organization, actually. Do you feel that Reggie Nelson played at a Pro Bowl level? I feel that he played near Pro Bowl level. But again, I'm not high on the Raiders scheme. I'm not down on Del Rio. I believe that the Raiders scheme should be less two-gapping and more blitz. Now, top 3 Raiders ever? Wow, you want to get in a real argument there? My personal top 3 or just top 3 in general? Golly. Can I put Ken Stabler up there just because I like the number 12 as number 1? You gonna get mad at me? I don't care. He's my number 1. Okay, now, we need... Hey, how you doing, Video Smato? If the Raiders can't re-sign Latavius Murray in free agency, who would fit? I think D'Angelo Williams for 1 year, $2 million deal. I like that idea. I like that idea. Although I'm really more into building through the draft. I really am. Um, Top Raider ever, Jacoby Ford. We need guys who can stuff the middle of the line and the middle linebacker. All right. Now, anyone specific we're looking to get in free agency? Campbell, I've heard the name Campbell bandied about. Now, with 3 defensive coordinators, does defense become the top 5 in the NFL? Let's cross our fingers, okay? Because the scourge of the NFL is not a person or a coach. It's a scheme. It's the 5 wide receiver with the tight end on the edge formations, or the tight end in that seam like Vernon Davis or Rod Gronkowski. The ability to handle those formations will spell success or failure for any defense going into this year. Passing game rules. Simple fact of the matter. Passing game rules. Now, I'm sure Pagano and the D will be better. Yes. Greatest Raider of all time, John Madden. Raider coach. Yes. How about player? John Madden. Okay, John Madden and Ken Stabler. We win. Now, you're basically saying if you were a coach, you would make it better. You mean make the defense better. Yes, schematically, yeah. I am saying that. I'm not basically saying that, I'm saying that. Because if I were a coach, the one thing I would pay attention to that a lot of coaches don't, including the Josh McDaniels of the world, are time motion studies. Designing your formations with respect to, for example, if you have an open side of I call it the open side of the formation is no tight end, all right? If you have a linebacker there, the question is how fast can that linebacker get in to disrupt your handoff? If that linebacker can get in fast, what you have to have is a wider line split. Therefore, you're putting the linebacker further away from that point of attack, right? Person takes more time. Formation structure in football is vitally important. If you don't pay attention to formation structure, you do not know what you're doing. You're just drawing plays in the dirt. That's it. Formation structure matters, particularly when you're dealing with athletes that are so good and so fast. You have to schematically put them out of position. You have to design plays, both offense and defense, that allow you to get to the point of attack faster than your opponent and control it faster than your opponent. That's the real name of the game. You know, some of these teams design plays that are so long in developing that you think, what kind of cocktail was the coach drinking when they actually drew up that play? This happens in college ball and the pros. You see play action fakes. Even the Patriots do that take a long time to execute. And I think to myself, oh my God, they just left the open side so open. I would so fucking destroy them, excuse my language, with a proper edge blitz. You know, that's based on a key. Because you're not going to blitz all the time. The key is only based on, for example, if the guard on that side pulls to the away from you, then you blitz to that side because you know it's going to be a fake, right? Or it's going to be a play action fake. So you go in there. A lot of play action fakes today are based on or have the guard pulling it across as a way of the fool, right? Just that's your key. Boom, go in there and disrupt that. There's your key. You see what I'm getting at? So yeah, I'm saying that. Yeah. You think it's arrogant? Yeah, whatever. Now, let's see here. USA, what happened to the Oakland lot stadium designs? The stadium designs do exist. They've been seen by a number of city officials. They have not been seen by the general public. They've been in existence now for about 7 months. But the stadium designs for a new stadium, and I've reported this before, for the Oakland Raiders in Oakland, do exist. They are, I am told, look something like CenturyLink Field where the Seattle Seahawks play. Fans close to the action, covered over, stadium exposed to the elements, stadium field rather exposed to the elements. Yeah. Now, Hugh Jackson. Hey, it's Hughes. You misspelled Hugh. It's not H-U-G-H. It's H-U-E. Hugh Jackson. I like Hugh Jackson a lot. Now, is he doing a great job of coaching right now? No. but it's just his first year. So, hey, let's give him another year, all right? Let's don't go Ray Rhodes on him and fire him after the first year or what happened last year, right? Okay. I look like Hugh Jackson? I look better than Hugh Jackson. I'm sorry. I look like Hugh Jackson. I look better than... That is it. I look better than Hugh Jackson. Come on. Seriously? Oh, man. All right. Tatum didn't need to hit Stingley hard. Hey, David Martin, I was there when Jack Tatum hit Daryl Stingley. I was at that game. Had my binocs on. Stingley was running a slant across the field. Stingley was burning us. He had 184 yards receiving by the time Jack Tatum moved across my binoculars. You can see the 32 going this way, and all of a sudden, crack! Stingley went down. Tatum stood over him, looked down, looked up, walked off the field. They came out. Stingley did not move. Then they brought out the ambulance and the stretcher. That was horrifying. That was a preseason game. That was August, if memory serves, August 19th. 1976, I believe. 76, 77. I was at that game. Sad. Very sad game. Yeah. Big Jack Tatum fan, but, you know, that was the game. I mean, everyone knew that when you ran that slant, you took your life in your hands because Jack Tatum was playing true free safety, and he played it really, really well. And that was a day where, see, it was a different time then. Defensive backfield players were allowed to hit you after you came off the line of scrimmage. I don't mean the 5-yard rule. I mean downfield. You can see get shots of, you know, guys like Jack Lambert, Steelers middle linebacker, you going over the middle on a crossing pattern, boom, you get an elbow from him. Maybe you're knocked off your route. There's no pass interference there. It's a different time. It was dangerous. It was a truly dangerous game. No question about it. Now, let's see here. You want my insights on the new DC. I think the Raiders, you know, I really am concerned about the two-gapping issue. I really am. I think I really am concerned about it. And I think, the new OC. I said Justin Howard, as long as they intelligently throw deep, and I'll explain what I mean by that, they're going to be fine. When I say intelligently throw deep, I mean like the Rams under Mike Martz when Kurt Warner was quarterback. They had a time drop, and many of their throws, even though the timing wasn't based on footstep, it was based on yardage, they practiced them to a fare thee well. My only issue with the Rams' offensive design was the blocking. The blocking it wasn't fight blocking. And what I mean by that is this. The Pittsburgh Steelers during their heyday, the 70s, had a guy named Dan Rakatovich as their offensive line coach, who later went on to become an athletic director. But I digress. Rakatovich's style was to teach what I call fight blocking. That is, hands up, like this, closed. Okay, first it was like this, but then when they changed the rules to, call holding more often or, control that, it was like this. But push you, and the Patriots do that today. They push you right here. Being pushed right here will keep you up. And the guys, they worked out, they had the big arms, they could bench press like 500 pounds, and they would just push you. They would not retreat much. They would get off the ball, and they would take one step, and then they would shoot out at you, okay? The difference is that the Mike Martz offensive line people, they retreat. And when you retreat like that, you actually you're allowing the defender to get ahead of steam and crash into you. And if the defender crashes into you the right way, that person can take you and basically catapult you into the quarterback. Or get their hand up and get close enough to back the quarterback's pass. Or to get a hand on the quarterback. Or to just simply sack the quarterback. Look at what happened to Jay Cutler when Mike Martz was the offensive coordinator for Chicago Bears when Lovie Smith was there. And later, he was getting jacked up. He was getting hit a lot. So when you say to me, I'm going to throw deep, my question is, okay, that's fine, but how are you going to do it? Are you going to do it, with the fight blocking so that if you keep the defenders close to the line of scrimmage as I'm retreating as quarterback, I have this nice pass pocket, right? Are you going to roll the quarterback out and give the quarterback time? How are you going to throw deep? What are you going to do schematically and systemically that will ensure that my quarterback survives the season? I'm really concerned about that. You can achieve big gains by formation structure, literally using a formation to tear the defense apart, to rip it apart. That's the kind of thinking I like. But this sort of Neanderthalish, I'm going to throw deep on you like we did in the 70s stuff is kind of like, woohoo, woohoo, to me. Some people say, hey, that's the Raider ball, but the athletes of today don't allow you to effectively play that game. Not on defense. Okay. Now, sorry, I was going on my diatribe. I missed your questions here. Now, I love potatoes. Thanks. And Haynes better. Yeah. I love potatoes. Let's see here. Scroll up. No one cares. Drink bleach. Whatever. You guys are all over. Okay. The Raiders need to go back to playing old school, violent, smash mouth football. Miguel, I agree with you in terms of the run. All right, the smash mouth, I agree with you, but you can see. Hey, Miguel, here's my point. All right, I'm glad you made that point, Miguel, because the smash mouth game is actually complementary what I'm talking about. Because when you play smash mouth run football, what are you doing? You're hitting your guy, right? So imagine you hit the guy to run, but it's play action. So you've got that pass blocking. The point is the offensive line is being aggressive with smash mouth football. So from that perspective, I agree with you. I agree. What happens with Howard, Watson, and Feliciano in terms of the right side? Hey, what do you want to see what happen? Richardson, I'm still forming my opinion, but Donald, I want to hear what you want done. You tell me, and I'll repeat it. Yeah, and then you're right, Rick, 477. Back then you could really hit more. And Chuck Noll said the Raiders had a criminal element. And on the other hand, John Madden said that Chuck Noll had a criminal element on his team, with Donnie Edwards and those guys. Remember that? They went to court over that. I'm not kidding you. They went to court over that. Ellis, how are you doing? How are you? Who am I missing here? I like Miguel's take here. Okay. Suga says, that's a good one, Zennie. When someone says you look like someone, you say, I look better than said person. Yeah, this girl came up to me at Balboa Cafe and she said, you look like Seal. And I said, I look better than Seal. She was cute too. That was a few years ago. I still look better than Seal. Anyway, yeah, it would be fun. Now, let's see. Now, what am I missing here? I'm going down. Let's see here. Watson gets hurt too often. Let's see here. Do I like potatoes? Yes, I do. Let's see. Okay. Someone used the racial epithet, so they're blocked. Let's see here. Yep. Okay. Who else? Oh, no, I love Ted Hendricks. Absolutely. I think Ted Hendricks is absolutely correct. Yes. Now, Ted Hendricks is fantastic. John, you're talking about bleach. I don't know if you participate in the conversation rather than that garbage. But anyway, do you think that Sidney Crosby be the best scorer this year? No. I think it's going to be because of the offense. I think it's going to be Amari. I really believe it's going to be Amari. I really do. I think he's going to have a record-setting year. I think he's going to have a Julio Jones type year. Yes, I said it. Amari is going to have, and you heard it here first, a Julio Jones style of year. Because encapsulated in this deep throwing ethic means what? It means more new pass patterns for Amari to run. That's right. Which means you can't, again, use that old book on him, which makes it what? Harder for him to defend. Oh, boy. I love that. Yeah. Now, you think the Raiders should release Watson and Howard? Why Howard? and give Feliciano one more year and see if we could. Okay, if we release them, who do we replace them with? Just my question, all right? When the Raiders go to Vegas to get the final nail in the... When is the Raiders to Vegas going to get the final nail in the coffin? Hopefully this March. We'll see how that goes. You know, I think if all goes according to logic, that'll happen. Especially with Stephen Ross involved now. Do you think Mario Edwards wasn't good because he couldn't get into a rhythm? I think Mario Edwards wasn't good because he was being asked to two-gap. Mario Edwards came from a system of one-gap to two-gap. Okay? Two-gap ruins the best defensive tackles. I'm sorry, it just does. And here's why, folks. Remember when I was talking... Let's flip around to talk about offense, all right? And I was talking about how in today's game you block this way. Now imagine for a moment, if you're on the other side and you're a defender and you're going up against the offensive lineman that may be as strong as Larry Allen, who bench presses 700 pounds. Remember him from the Dallas Cowboys? And then you have to hold that person, essentially, and figure out where the running back is going, either this side or that side. That's two-gapping. That's intellectual suicide. Why would anybody subject their best defenders to that kind of role? Someone who was known for speed off the ball. That's ridiculous. And they say, oh, let the linebackers get them. Forget it. No. Sick them, I say. And that is why Mario Edwards is being held back. That's the problem, okay? Now you say, why do I think Amari is not committed? I don't think he's... No, I didn't say he wasn't committed. Oh, somebody else did. Shout out my cousin. Sukim, I'm sorry to hear about your cousin. Rest in peace. Sorry about that. Travis Chase asks, leave that to Donald's Port of the Word, okay? T.I. Howard. Hey, Mr. Howard, how you doing? Can you repeat what I guess you might have said about Ross' involvement? I missed it. Be delighted to. Stephen Ross, the owner of the Miami Dolphins, has a company called the Related Organizations. It's a giant real estate firm that owns thousands of properties around the United States. One of those properties was called by one name Coliseum Gardens. They bought it, they renamed it. It's located right across the BART tracks from the Coliseum. Thus, Mr. Ross clearly becomes an interested party in the development of Coliseum City. And so I said months ago in a video blog that Mr. Ross should be the person that's called upon, if he hasn't been already, to participate in the development of a Raiders stadium at Coliseum City. And Ronnie Lott said that's precisely what they did. He is involved. That is huge news. Okay? Now, why is Tom Floyd not in the NFL Hall of Fame? That is a crime. That's right. He should be. Someone says Mario Cooper does not fight for balls. I disagree with that. I don't think that if a ball is thrown on time properly, you should never have to fight for the ball. A great time passing game means you are wide open and the ball comes to you. Bing! Touchdown. Read mind plays, see... I don't know what that means. Who would be a good target for slot receiver for this vertical offense to work perfectly? You know, I'm going to defer to my buddy, Rick Saratella. He has a number of great... If you go to NFLDraftBible.com, he's got a list of the best slot receivers. We talked about that on my not last live stream, but the live stream before that. Or was Rick, if you go back to Rick Saratella at NFLDraftBible.com, I don't have that player encyclopedia in my head yet. I will by Wednesday, Thursday of this week, I'll have that to rattle off who I think the slot receiver should be. But Rick's got it down, and we talked about that in our show. We really did. Now, what happened with who? Oh, Jason Pierre-Paul. Peace out. Thank you, man. Whoever said they don't think Amari don't fight for balls, you agree 1,000%. Okay. Do NFL owners want Mark Davis out? I am told that some do. I am Tom Gates around 325. That's correct. That date's right. It's actually, it starts the 26th of March and it goes from the 26th to the 29th. It's the NFL annual meeting. It's at the Arizona Biltmore. in Phoenix, Arizona. So there you go. Now, I love my girlfriend. Thank you. Now, I love you all as fans. I love you all as fans. Thank you so much. You guys have been fantastic. Fantastic. And are fantastic. Now, I will get everyone. Do I have a friend on my team? I don't understand what that means. Will Alden Smith return? I'm praying for Alden Smith. I'm in Atlanta for my mom. I go back and forth between here and California, Oakland. I got groupies. I guess I do. It looks like it. I got something here. I don't know. Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Hey, here's my question for everybody. T.I., isn't there an NFL Finance Committee meeting coming up? Yes, that's on the 9th. There is. And I ordered your shirt today. Hey, thank you, Barry. Thank you. Woohoo. Thank you. Yes, I do love Jesus. Now, printing. And Raider Scully. God bless your mom. Hey, I have a question for everybody, okay? Here's my question. Who do you want to see the Raiders draft this year in the NFL draft? Just throw out a name. Barry, and I am Zennie62 on Twitter, Barry Lee. Yes, I am. Okay. Bryce, you are... I gotta take that off. Sorry. Bye, Bryce. Hey, Bryce, no talk like that, okay? Not here. Take it someplace else. Sorry. Bye. Now, okay. Do I think Davis will continue to try and move the team anywhere he can? Hey, that brings me to this discussion about this video you've got to see, okay? It is simply called, the video is simply called, it's about Mark Davis and his lies, and it's, oh gosh, what is it called? Here, hold on a second. Let me get the proper name of the video. Let's see here. It is Show All History, and where is that thing? It's by question. Mark my words. That's it. Folks, you got to find the video. It's called Mark My Words. Okay, now, all right. Mark My Words video. Okay. Hey, see ya, Barry. See ya. Get it, okay? Hassan Reddick, yeah. Mark My Words is a video you must see. I don't know. I have an idea of who made it, but I don't want to say because they have a question mark. But Mark My Words is a very detailed, chronicled video that is a history of all of the misstatements that Mark Davis has made regarding his intentions with respect to building a stadium for the Raiders in Oakland. It is great. It is hard-hitting. It's a little slow. You have to pay attention to it, but the message is there. It just needs some music behind it, you know? For those times when it's going to show the newspaper documents, it should have some, like, you know, some cool, something like that, you know, Raider motif music, right? Something like that. It's a great video. It's an indictment against how Mark Davis has handled this situation. I like Mr. Davis personally, I really do. So I don't want to say something negative about him. I feel it pains me that I have to, you know, accuse him of not dealing in good faith, because I've seen him in a way where he came off very personable and everything else. You want to think good about everybody. So I hope that the good angels of Mark Davis take over and he keeps the Raiders in Oakland, and we come away with a state-of-the-art stadium in Oakland such as the world has never seen before, because you know what? The world will have never seen that before. Don't hate the mayor of Oakland, because she is a great lady. Libby is a great lawyer. She's not lying about anything. Libby gets a bad rap because she's smart and she's intellectually aggressive, and there are people who are sexist, okay? Give Libby a chance. Under Libby Schaaf as Oakland mayor, we have had the longest sustained focus on new stadium planning in our history since 1998, when we redeveloped the arena for the Coliseum Arena for the Warriors. So give Libby a chance, please. Now, how likely is what? And Anthony Antonucci, did I get your last name correct? That is a cool Italian name. Antonucci. Did I say that correctly? I like that. Let me know if I said that right. I just want to know. Alabama linebacker Reuben Foster. Great choice. Need a better presence in the middle. An impact player. Better than Nelson? Just asking. Okay. Say downloadable content 5 confirmed. There you go. Fine. Anthony, thank you very much. Oh, hey, man. Props to you. That's a beautiful name, man. It really is. It really is. Caleb Brantley says Rick4777. How come Raiders don't maximize the brand like the Cowboys? Brandon Boyd asked. And Brandon, that's a good question. But that gets back to the whole discussion of why there was pressure on the Raiders to form their version of the triplets. That is Derek Carr, Amari Cooper, Latavius Murray running back, right? Because that formula has been proven to work in terms of the marketing of the modern professional football team. So everybody has their triplets. Look at what Tampa Bay is doing. They have Doug Martin, Jameis Winston, and Mike Evans, right? So there you go. Is another example of triplets. Triplets abound, right? So what's more likely to happen? Las Vegas or San Diego and Oakland does not work out. Oakland will work out. Any updates on the stadium renderings? No, John Hackus, except that they do exist. Hey, John Marks, how you doing? How about that Oscar telecast? Wasn't that something last night? My God. I gotta say, just one comment about the Oscars, just a little bit off topic for a second. The real problem with the Academy Awards is it needs 10 Best Picture nominees, not 6. 10, the ratings shoot up. 6, Okay. Now, Brandon Poyd says, Zennie, talk about financially. Can you explain that, Brandon? Now, more? Now, John said it. Let's see. From a Niners fan, the Raiders are homeless when it comes to stadiums? Nah, not really. The Oscars suck. It's too PC. Well, Miguel, I don't know what you mean by that. I love the Oscars. I'll tell you why I love the Oscars. I love to celebrate the success of others. That's what it's about. Some people would say, oh, it's self-indulgent. What do you mean? You don't like celebrating the success of other people? Let's flip that around. Does that mean you don't like when someone doesn't celebrate your success? Come on, man. Really? All right. Now, let's see here. How dead is Vegas? It's dead. Period. Do we think we have a chance to pick up Adrian Peterson? I think we have a chance, but I don't think we should. I think Adrian, the combination of age and injuries, he's one of these guys where you give him the ball and you do this. You hope, you think he's going to do it, and he shows this flashes of brilliance, and then no. I think Adrian Peterson is better if you throw him the ball out of the backfield into the flat and let him run. But if you have this dream that he's going to be this breakaway running back and just slam the league exclusively that way, I think you're making a mistake. I really do. I'm not down on Adrian Peterson. I am high on the idea of him being effective if he is employed intelligently. Okay? I love the idea of moving him around in formations and pre-shifts. See, now I'm starting to think differently about Adrian Peterson. But that's only because of the way I would employ him, right? So that's not quite fair, because then my fertile imagination takes over. And brother, is it fertile. Now, hey, I'll see you, Tom. Nice. Thank you for stopping by. Okay, I don't know who Skylar Wilson is. Skylar, do you want me to block you? Because I have no idea what's going on. I'm not gay, but whatever. So the whole point is Raiders should draft a corner. Nothing against anybody who is gay, by the way. Fine. But now Brandon asked, do you think Raiders will move into Levi Stadium? I don't think they'll move into Levi Stadium, but I do think that they'll play there temporarily before a play in the new Raiders stadium. Okay. Now, no more corners, need a middle linebacker. Who's backing the over $1 billion needed for the private portion of the Vegas stadium? Hey, smart question. No, did Mark offer anything toward a stadium in Oakland like Vegas? Yeah, the same $500 million. That's a very good question. In fact, the same $500 million that he's said for everything. When I first met Mark Davis, it was $400 million. And then the NFL came through and said, you don't give an extra $100 million if you are the home team in Oakland or San Diego. And so it went to $500 million. It's the same thing. Now, John Mark says, it'll be interesting to see the Raiders play in Levi Stadium. It would be, wouldn't it? Especially since Jed York told me that Jed York's the owner of the 49ers. He told me this 2 years ago that he made an offer for Mark Davis to be in Levi Stadium, but Mark didn't like the color of the seats. They were red. Couldn't change them. Now, at what point does Davis begin talking to the locker group? Well, technically he already has been. It hasn't been as you've heard. There's a lot of mistruths going on about that relationship, okay? Most of them just so happen to not favor the locker group, but behind the scenes, the relationship favors the locker group. Go figure. Now, John is gone. I hate. Okay, John Smith. Let's see here. John Schmidt is gone. Blocked. Not only is John Schmidt gone, all of the words that he has mentioned are gone. Sorry, John. So all the stuff that you wanted to say that you hated, let me tell you something. Racism is a mental illness. Get psychiatric help. Whatever it is in your brain, such that you feel you have to be insulting towards someone racially, you need to see a doctor. You need to have that thing removed. It's not the hallmark of an intelligent person. Here's why. Very simple lesson I'll give you, and I want you to remember it, okay? It's this. Let's say you have 6 people around you. Your job, and this is a game, okay? Your job is to find the person that has, let's say you have a puzzle, all right? And you have one half of the puzzle here. You need to find the connector. The people you have to choose from all different walks of life, different accents, okay? But let's say that, and you have a time limit, all right? So let's say that you go to people because you go to one person because you don't like the other person because the person is black. Oh, so then it just turns out the person who's black has the connection you need. But you ignored them because of how they looked. So who was hurt? You were. You hurt yourself by your behavior. It's just like the person who is the waiter or waitress that doesn't want to serve someone black and therefore risk their own pocketbook to treat that person badly because of the color of their skin or the way they talk. That's not something sane people do. Okay? It is not something a person who has their mental faculties in place does. Okay? If you want to be a normal, functioning member of society, you can't behave that way. Because what happened? Look what happened in this case. It got you blocked. Your voice is silenced here. Did you want that? Of course not. But look what you did. Was that smart? Of course not. It was stupid. But you did it. Get psychiatric help. Racism is a mental illness. Period. Now, I shall continue. All right. Okay, yeah, right. Let's move on. You're right. Let's move on. Sorry about that. I just had to get that off my chest. Now, Cinema Panama. No, it's not a white trash thing. It's an idiot thing, okay? Look, okay? Okay, now, watch Sirmi Panerjeev's highlights. I'll do that. Yes! Panerjeev's highlights! You and Rick Saratellas talked about him. I will definitely do that, okay? Now, okay, let's see. Let's see here. Another block. Woohoo. Next. All right, bye-bye. Another racist gone. Okay, now. He's gone, don't worry. Deshaun Jackson or Damien? I think Deshaun Jackson should be the pick. The Nintendo Switch for the win. I like that. Prior to this year's Oscars, do you think they were racist against black people? I do, but I don't want to talk about that right now. I'll do that another time. I want to focus more on football, okay? I want to focus more on the Raiders. Because we talked about that last night for a long time, actually. But I want to talk Raider football for the next few minutes here, right? Now, let's see here. What would happen? What would it take to get Deshaun Jackson? Wow, Deshaun Jackson paired with Amari Cooper would be something else, wouldn't it? I would offer. Let's see. I would offer a number 4, a number 6, and my next year's number 3. That's what I would do. Okay. Assuming, of course, we have a number 4, a number 6, and next year's number 3 to give for Deshaun Jackson. That's what I would do. What say you? That's what I would do. Yeah. I mean, that's what I would do. Now, Barry Lee says, Zennie, do the Raiders have 1 or 2 games this? They have 1 in Mexico. Yeah. You have Crabtree stupid trade for Jackson. You think so? Wait. You think Crab really? Nah, I don't want to do that. I love Michael Crabtree. I love him as a possession receiver. I really do, and I really believe, and I really assert that Michael Crabtree's best days are still ahead of him. I really do. I can't see doing that. To me, getting rid of Michael Crabtree is a minus, not a plus. That's just me. Okay. Now, all the talk. This is Corey Brown. Hey Corey, how you doing? Of all the talk of Mark possibly being squeezed out, how does the team then operate? Does the NFL select a new owner? No, I think, as a friend of mine told me, they'll probably let him sort of bleed out. That's how it was described. All right, I think that's how it was described to me. I certainly hope it doesn't go down that way because, look, Mark Davis is Al Davis' son. He deserves every bit of respect for being that, period. And we have to give him that respect for being Al Davis' son. And, help him where we can. I really believe that. I was honored that Mark Davis asked me to form a stadium plan for him. And if you want to take a look at it, all you have to do is go to Google, this is the easy way to do it, and type Oakland Coliseum Reboot. You'll see the website right at the top. Bing, go there and check it out. Now, should the Patriots be afraid of playing the Raiders in Mexico? Yes. You know why? We're going to kick the Raiders' butt. You can tell Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, and if I ever meet him, I'm going to tell him. If I ever meet him, I'm going to say, you know what? Tuck rule, dudes. Tuck rule. I will never root for the Patriots in my life. Tuck rule. All right. A little dramatic, but I don't care. Yeah. Now, yeah. Let's see here. We need Margaret King. Yeah. Calais Campbell. Man. No. We need to do tight end. No, Mark Davis doesn't know how to print money. Well, yeah. Okay. Now, let's see. What else here? Logan Colgrove? Logan Crowgrove. Is that your name? You said say your name. I did. Logan Crowgrove? Okay. I don't think I pronounced it correctly, though. Saying someone's name is one thing. Pronouncing it correctly, that's something else. Odrick. You know what? I like Odrick. I interviewed him at the NFL draft, and he's still an impact player. I am not as high on him in terms of the number of times he gets blocked. That is of a concern. But let me give that some thought, all right? Let me give that some thought. I need that question, that good question, deserves an intelligent response. I don't have one for you right now. Let me get back to you on that. Could Mexico City be a temporary home for the Raiders while stadium is being built in either Oakland or Vegas? No. I vote for Levi Stadium, period. Fly all the way down to Mexico City, spend all that money, unless somebody's going to fly you there? Nah. Do you know of any other former players who tried to join the lock group? Well, I know Bill Duffy's a part of it as the NBA agent. Ray Chester is a part of it. Those are the only other two I know. Now, let's see. Mark Davis has no acumen how to build a stadium and generate money for the NFL. Yeah, but it's the people around him. And I think Mark has too many yes people who are not afraid to argue with him. Now, on the other hand, maybe it's because he doesn't want to be argued with and they're afraid of getting fired. Okay, but the bottom line is, take a chance. Don't be a yes person all the time. It doesn't serve your boss well. We need Jim Plunkett in the Hall of Fame. Yes, we do. And Terrell Owens, too, but that's another story. We also need Tom Flores in the Hall of Fame. And, yeah, would you be interested in Brock or Selleck, the one for King? Let me give that one some thought, Ian French. How you doing, by the way? How far away are we from Oakland's proposal? I'm going to say a few weeks, all right? Raiders go to Levi's, but do we have to pay Levi's prices? Yes. It's a total crime that Jim Plunkett isn't in the NFL Hall of Fame. I agree. Terrell Owens and Randy Moss. Yes, Ian French, I agree. Matt Engel. What's up with the New York Giants? Specify. Ian, has Goodell worked with Lot Group on the issue that he didn't like? Mr. Antonelli, can you specify what that issue might be? If you mean in terms of Fortress, I know that the commissioners got involved in the discussions, and I think it's a matter of better understanding the deal rather than not liking something. And I think Goodell understands the proposal better now. Zennie, do you ever see the Raiders letting Amy Trask lighting the torch, and do I think she would? Yeah, I do, and I think, I want to say this. Amy Trask is one of the great NFL executives of our time. I miss her as a Raiders executive. I miss being on the other side of her when I worked for L.U. Harris as mayor. I missed how she tucked the pillow in my seat on my United Airlines flight in behind my head when we were on our way to the Super Bowl in Atlanta for my first Super Bowl. That was unexpected, and that was very nice. I like Amy a lot. Amy and I are both Cal Bears, too. Amy Trask is a great person, a great lady, and I got to buy her book. And I was going to buy her book and interview her, and I gotta get that done. Yeah, Amy's fantastic, and Amy deserves to have the torch lit in her honor. Amy Trask, yeah. What are records going to be? I don't understand that, Jay, because what are record going to be in your opinion? I don't understand that one. How do I feel about Peyton Manning? I think Peyton Manning is one of the best quarterbacks ever. He's certainly one of my favorite quarterbacks, like one of my top three. And a complete field general who understands the game and has really introduced a style of offense in the NFL that should be patented and replicated. I ask you to recommend Raider books. Oh, Raider books. Let's see here. A Raider book that I would recommend. Some of the books by Glenn Dickey about the Raiders and Al Davis are really worth buying. If you want to know the Raiders, read the books that were published during the 70s and the 80s about Al Davis to get to know the heart and soul of the team and what the Raider image is really all about in terms of books, in terms of authors. Glenn Dickey, columnist with the San Francisco Examiner and Chronicle, friend of mine, great guy, Glenn Dickey, yeah. The Snake is a good one. Yes, The Snake. Thank you. Yeah, that's right. Renegades and Snake. Yeah, absolutely. 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 Oh, you said, what I think the Raiders record will be. Hey, good night, Brandon. Thank you for stopping by. I think the Raiders record this year, I'm going to go out and I'm going to say it's going to be 10-6. 10-6. Yeah. Hey, Crazy Show, how you doing? Welcome, Crazy Show. Hello, I am Rushan. Hey, Crazy Show, whatever you are, welcome. No stupid comments or racism, where I will not hesitate to block you. Just fair warning, okay? Now, because I don't have the time to waste, and my fans don't either. We're an intelligent group. We're the Zensters. That's what I'm gonna call you guys. The Zensters. The Zensters are a unique lot. The one thing is that Zensters are smart. They ask great questions. They enjoy great dialogue. They have great books to read, great books to suggest, and they're wide-ranging and talk about anything. Zensters. And Zensters do not come and flame people. So if you're one of those, you're not a Zenster, goodbye. Sorry. Otherwise, welcome. Hey, Mr. Holmes, how you doing? Zensters. Yeah, I like that. Zensters. Zensters. I like that. I'm giving out more blocks than Draymond Green. Do I recommend any book on the A's? Oh, wow. Let me get, you know what? You know, my brain is so fried. Let me get back to you on that, John. I don't want to blur out something. Because there's one in my head that's not coming out. And, let's see here. Miguel Rose says the Raiders are going to go 8-6. Why is that? Crazy show. One more stupid comment like that and you're done. I've already told you I don't put up with that. And I don't have time. So you got one more chance to say something smart, otherwise you're blocked. And I don't mean smart mouth either. I mean like intelligent. Can't bring it, or don't comment. Just, hey, check it out. All right, you're gone. Bye. Sorry. Bye, crazy show. Don't have time. I told you. I'm not kidding. Now, okay. Did Lott betray red and gold? No, he did not. In fact, Lott's being an investor. He's helping the community. He's keeping the Raiders in Oakland, thereby maintaining the tradition of the Raiders and the 49ers and hopefully the reestablishment of the preseason game. Hey, question. How many of you went to the 49er Raider preseason games when they were active? I'm the person that revived them when the Raiders came back. I'm just curious, okay? I like the Cowboys. Yes, I do. Marquette, that's a good question. Raider Rebels, okay. New England Patriots, Zennie Green with another Zennie Green. That's funny with another block. I'll buy a Zenster T-shirt. That'll be the next one. The Zensters. Mark this moment tonight, the night that the term the Zensters were born. The Zero Zenster. Thank you. You know what that comes from? In a way, my friend John Urso used to say Simon Bar Zenster. So you'll be a Zenster. There you go. How much do I like to play soccer? I don't like to play soccer much, but I love Hope Solo as a soccer player. She's a friend of mine and a fantastic soccer. Well, she's a legend. Now, good night, Angus. Thank you. I am going to be out of here myself at about 12:30. Okay. You just ignore him, block him. Give him no attention. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. Is there a reason the Cal Stadium was never considered by the Raiders? Aaron and Blaylock, yes. John Marks, you're a Zenster. Aaron, yeah. Aaron, what happened with that goes back to 1974. The Raiders did play at Cal Memorial Stadium, but the residents in Berkeley raised such a stink that they had adopted an ordinance which essentially made it very difficult to play NFL football in Berkeley. So, barring the expenditure of a lot of money, and money can change a lot of things, I don't see the Raiders being allowed to play in Berkeley. Now again, that's a big, it comes with a big italic asterisk. If the Raiders have the money to bring, and Berkeley can convince its neighbors that it can install the proper mitigating measures, you could see them there. But I wouldn't bet the ranch. I wouldn't. Now, hey, Bryce, how you doing? Flacco is overrated. I kind of agree with you there. I do agree. I do agree. Flacco is, Now, Mark Holmes has a question. A question about the Broncos in their Super Bowl win in 1996 with John Elway. There was a cheeseburger thrown at a black dude. Do you think he should have the double cheeseburger? Mark, I have no idea and I don't care. And okay, Mark, if you want to get blocked, that's a good way to get blocked. Just letting you know. None of that. No contaminating my site with that BS. Now, Mr. Antonucci, when does the media jump on board with an Oakland stadium? The minute fans force them to. You have to tell all of the media that's speaking negatively, speak positively. You have to say it to them, okay? And then, you know what? You want to really piss off the media? Say, hey, look, Zennie supports the Raiders in Oakland. Why don't you? Just mention my name, and it'll be like saying to some of them, remember Young Frankenstein, where I think it was the hand said Young Frankenstein, and you could hear the horses go, Mah! No, it's Frau Brewer. She said, Young Frankenstein, Mah! Right? If you say Zennie to them, they'll go, Mah! Like the horses. Try that. I'm serious. Try it. Now, why have the Raiders not hired a defensive back coach? Don't know the answer to that question. I'll find out. If it's a good idea for the Raiders to just rebuild OCO because the Raiders are going to move the rail yard, they'll get the land for free, no more dirt. I like the idea. In fact, my original plan that Mr. Davis asked me to come up with included a refurbished and, for all practical purposes, rebuilt East Side. And we take the East Side design and sort of replicate around the stadium, and kind of a neat, compact, fan-friendly, covered-over design. So that would cost about $970 million to build, thereabouts. I like that idea. Mark Davis wanted everything torn down and brand new. I tell you this, the Oakland Coliseum survived the largest earthquake the Bay Area has had, not including the '06 earthquake, okay? That was the Loma Prieta earthquake. The Coliseum emerged from that without a scratch. So why is that such a bad stadium? I'm just asking you, okay? Now, Young Frankenstein is awesome. I quite agree with you. John Hackle says, also think we need to see pics, a cool video of the Oakland Stadium. I agree, for the media to get momentum going. Yes, that's the one thing that's lacking. A picture of the stadium to get everybody excited. We never had a really good drawing of a new stadium in Oakland for the Raiders. Okay. Another question. This is by Mark Holmes. This one is extremely serious. When Aaron Rodgers brought it back and beat the Cowboys in the playoffs, and Cook made that amazing catch, should Tony Romo have been beaten with the soap? Whatever. Brett Zennie, can you see my message? Read them. I can. Yeah, I can. Let me go back to you, Bryce, and see where I missed. Sorry about that. Missed that. Let's see here. Let's see. Will Davis pull his relocation bid before owners' meeting? He might, Anthony. There's a possibility that happens. Don't hold your breath, but there's that possibility. Now, let me see something. As far as Bryce, do I think the Raiders will win? Yes, I do think the Raiders will win. The question is, what will they win? I mean, just tell me. All right, now. Let's see here. Okay, Mark, I don't really want to answer your questions. I'm sorry. So you're gone. All right, and Mark, if you didn't listen to me before, you now understand. If you want to be invited back in, you can see and apologize. But once again, I do not put up with such behavior on my channel. Go away. Now, all right. Jinstern has an important question for you. How do you know if the life is full of this or that? I'm really full of, well, I don't know, and I'm not going to deal with that one, so sorry, you're blocked too. I'm sorry, I don't have time for foolish stuff, because there are people on here who have great, serious questions, and it takes away from them. So why do you want to do that? Okay? You're blocked. Stop. Go someplace else. Stop wasting the time of the Zensters. Knock it off. Now, is Davis trying to save face by going forward with the base? Yes. With respect to the governor yes. Absolutely. Terrell Pryor would be a fantastic pickup. Wow, yes. Terrell Pryor matched with Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree in the slot. There you go. Super Bowl, baby. I'm sorry, Super Bowl. Yes. Now, I don't give trolls the time of day. Sorry. At all. Hey, Patrick, you're correct. Do I enjoy winning games? Now, Jay Marquez, who are quarterback coach now that Todd is offensive coordinator? I think he's serving double duty. If I'm wrong, let me know. Ron Harris. The Sensei. Thank you for the Zensters. Thank you. Pryor's going to Cincinnati, hometown. Playing for Marvin Lewis. Great man. Thank you, Mr. Antonucci. Thank you so much. Thank you. No, I don't. I don't. Because there are too many people. I don't get caught up with the trolls because, look, you guys spend your valuable time to come and visit my channel. You follow the Raiders. You follow the NFL. You follow pop culture. You got great questions. You're smart people. I want to give my time to you. I don't want people on my channel that's going to take away from my time to you. That's wrong. I'm sorry. That's wrong. Now, yeah. Thank you so much. And folks, it's 12:29. It's been a long day. I'm going to shut it down. I started my channel April 24th of 2006. That's right. I was named YouTube partner in 2008, April 19th, 2008. Thanks to Mia Quiglio of Google YouTube. Yes. Now, okay. Now, whoever this person is whatever that is, block. Cool. All right. Okay. Now. All right. Who else? Good night. Good night, everybody. Cheers. Good night. Good night, everybody. See ya. Thank you so very much. And thank you. Thank you, Zinsters. And if Donald Trump was a football player, what position would he play? Donald Trump would be, he plays center. He plays center. Hey, good night, everybody. Good night, John. Creature Features. Thank you all. Thank you all. And see you tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you so much. See you guys. And thank you for tuning in.